Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be here, and my name is Yetunde Folajimi. The introduction has already been done, so I will just go straight to. What? I will go straight to the presentation. I work at University of Ibadan, Department of Computer Science as a faculty, and I'm also a postdoctoral fellow at Northeastern University with Jackie and Amy. Um, I founded the Nigeria Geek Girls Club, and we have two major events: the Nigeria Geek Girls Collaborative Camp and the Hackathon, the Nigeria Geek Women and Girls Hackathon for Social Change and Development, which we do in December in alternate years, and then the camp is every summer for secondary school girls and female undergraduates. Um, a little bit information about Nigeria. Nigeria is popularly known as the giant of Africa, and is the most populated and strongest economically after South Africa. Um, Ibadan is where I operate in Nigeria, and it's very close to the Atlantic. Uh, that's more about Nigeria. Population of about 183.5 million, and the urban population is almost half of the nation. Um, with 70.3 million active internet users, and has been increasing by 26% since January 2014. Nigeria depends more on mobile connection for internet activities, with 138 million mobile internet connections as at 2014, and has been increasing by about 21%. The official language is English. 54% of internet use is through mobile phone in Nigeria. We okay. So about the Geek Camp, it all started as a vision I had because I was motivated to study computer science while I was in secondary school. A lady gave a career talk in my school from Britain. Um, she came all the way, an African that grew up in United Kingdom, and honestly, I didn't understand anything she said. She was speaking Queen's English, and so. But when I saw her, I was really impressed by her smartness, and I felt she was in charge. And I said, "Oh, I'm going to do computer science." And having been able to do that, I thought the best I can do is to motivate young girls at that level, find a way of making them to also realize their potentials if they are interested in studying computer science. And it's all about mentoring girls, technology, and so on. By 2011, when I had my PhD, I was thinking, how am I going to make it? Nigeria is a place where people don't part with cash easily. And it's also a place where girls are not seen as tech. You are better off in the kitchen, and you are better off doing business than doing computer things. So that's the orientation. So I had a lot of things going on. I mean, a lot of stuff going on. How am I going to make my impact? How am I going to convince people that this is really going to happen? And but I was determined to make sure, money or no money, because I don't really want money to be the hindrance. Over time, I realized that Nigerian girls are very smart. The smarter ones are not even the rich ones. So they don't have the opportunities. So when you expose them to the opportunities, they are able to uh, do stuff, especially in technology, but they don't just have the opportunities and they don't have the motivation. No one is telling them that, yeah, go ahead, you can do it. So by 2012, I started looking for volunteers and funding. And then one thing is that making your mark in Nigeria, one thing is if you really want to make your mark, just go get a PhD. And so I knew I already had a PhD. If you want to knock any door and you say you have a PhD, they are likely going to open the door. Unlike when you don't have one. So I made sure I had one and I was ready to go to people and places and see what they can do. And but again, I met with discouragement. And so what I did was to talk to a couple of my students that also have shared the same vision in the campus and say, let's do this. So they volunteered their time, they volunteered their skill, and then we started with a group of 8 students because we also wanted to manage it properly to be able to take care of them. By 2013, it increased to 30 students. And then by 2014, I was lucky with a giant grant from Women Enhancing Technology of Institute of International Education. And they supported the project. And I launched out the media, schools, publicity, and I had about 250 students applying, but I was only able to accommodate 100. The initial plan in the proposal was to take 50, but I had to scale it up to 100. So we hosted them, made them comfortable, made them, I mean, they had fun and they made new friends and they became better persons. But at the end of the camp, I'm going to show you some statistics. Their interest, their motivation was really boosted and they really discovered themselves through coding, programming, apps-based development. And by 2015, again, we had to reduce the number because there was no fund. But we were able to manage 30 students on site. And we got over 100 applications. We didn't do any publicity. We didn't go to schools. So, but they were looking forward to it. And we are hoping to also do it again this August. We are hoping to have more than 50 students because I mean, right now the parents are already getting interested. They're sending emails and wanting to know if it's going to happen. They don't even care about gifts. They don't care about food. They just want their kids to learn, and that's something that to be happy about. Um, in terms of gaming and gender, globally we all agree that it is almost 50-50. In Nigeria, it's about 40-50 from some analysis I did in the past. And so, but globally, it's like 50-50. And so we want to give, if girls have as much interest in games as boys, then they should also be given the same field, the same level of field to operate. Um, so now, in terms of a survey that I did in 2013 with a couple of students taking introductory computer science course in University of Ibadan via Modo, I found out again that their interest in serious is for boys. Their interest in serious games is 93.3%. They are interested in using games in the classroom. And for girls, you have 79.6% of the girls are interested in using games in the classroom. If we have this much number and we just don't find games in Nigerian classrooms, game is almost an abomination in the classroom in Nigeria. in Nigeria. And so we want to find a way of making the teachers realize that this is the global trend and I mean, our kids have to make games. They have to play games. It helps them to learn. But you find out that, again that this is the face of game globally. These are the characters you see. You hardly see a Nigerian character. And the girls are looking, I mean, the students are looking forward to things like this. They want something that will reflect the nature, what they see, and that will motivate them the more. If this is what they are looking for, who is going to do it? They are the ones that are going to make it happen. And that is the approach, that is the strategy to make them come together to solve their own problems by themselves. They figure it out. The next thing we are going to do this August is to make them create games for their classrooms. think about the subject you love most. Create a game to teach that subject or to learn that subject or to solve problems in that subject and take it back to your school after the holiday. So that's the idea. How, so that's the face of games in the Nigeria classroom based on
Wow.
our interaction with the teachers and
Did they
I
do
guess,
that? Do the teachers act like that?
pardon?
Yeah.
Yeah, you play game in the class. You are not the right. I mean, you don't have any right to come to the classroom with any game, whether learning game or not. And you don't have the right to play game in the library.
You have to call every game an educational learning experience.
Well, not all of them are.
But you can make them that.
Yes, yeah.
I just
Yeah.
talked about this.
So how do we change that? That's the idea. How do we change this impression that is stereotyped in the minds of the teachers and the school principals? Um, the idea of going to the classroom and letting them know, yeah, we are here to tell your kids about computational thinking, rather than telling them about games or serious games or whatever gamification. We don't want to talk about games. Okay, you don't want to hear about games, but you can hear about computational thinking. And anytime they hear things like that, programming, computational thinking, they are always excited. They invite me to come and talk to their kids, and when I get there, I do whatever I want to do, and the girls play and learn. Um, so that's the interest. I've shown this before, and the video game characters. Now we are expecting to have things like this because that is what the kids are familiar with, and we want them to make it by themselves. So we bring them together, not just to make games using those characters, but to make games that will also help them in the classroom, to make games that will also help them as girls. Because again, another problem is you find out that most games that you find on the internet that you download or that you share, they are stereotyped for boys because they are made by boys. So we want them to make games with a mind of building something that is feminine and they are able to release it and help others. And the mentoring is key to our approach because many a time when they come to the camp, they don't have that confidence that they can do it. They don't have confidence that they can program. Many of them, because of the lack of confidence, they don't even do well in their programming classes and mathematics classes. And so we try to bring undergraduate students that are already in college to come and interact with them, to team up with them to create projects. And so when they see that, they are more motivated and then they are creative and they are happy and they are proud of themselves for creating stuff like that. And we also try as much as possible to reward them for hard work. So we bring established researchers in computer science. The professor there is the first female professor of computer science in sub-Saharan Africa, and she has been really supportive because she always tells her story and say, if I can be this, because she had a lot of obstacles, and then if I can become the first professor, female professor of computer science in sub-Saharan Africa, then you also can become somebody. So fun and play, that's also something that we need them to have. And then more importantly, it is free. We try as much as possible to make sure that it is free. And that has always been because sometimes even if you go to schools and you want to tell the teachers that you want your girls to come to camp to come and make games, to come and make art. And then these are the flyers. The first thing they ask you is, how are we going to make copies of these flyers, of these forms? Who pays for the copies? So no one wants to pay for anything, but the moment they know it is free, they always come out, to support you. They give the physical support, even if they don't give the cash, which is also encouraging. Um, Now they have made, we make use of Java, App Inventor, Scratch, Game Maker. Those are the common programming platform we use, and it depends also on their ages and their classes. And then it also depends on the evaluation they do when they come into the camp. So we evaluate them, and then based on that, we group them into what project they're going to do and what they are going to learn. And it's my time now.
No, you can go ahead. Yeah. Just scrolling with the. Sorry.
Okay. So we also ask them to play games, educational games, to empower themselves. This is one of the popular games in the camp that they use. It's a game to teach sickle cell anemia, so that in the way you can help other kids that have it, or if you have it, how you can also manage yourself. Nigeria is actually the most endemic nation in the world when it comes to sickle cell anemia. Um, and we've again understood the game was made while I was doing a research in the UK, and then I did a Nigerian version because I discovered that the same game that appeals to UK kids doesn't appeal to Nigeria kids. And we also, last year, we evaluated with Grace. That's part of the project I work on here. And I think Jackie has already said something. Did you? No, you didn't. Yeah. Okay. So Grace is a game that we are working on at a Plate Lab to teach computational thinking to middle school audience. And so part of the reason why I'm here is also to see the possibility of doing a Nigerian version. And so the girls, they tested the game in Nigeria last year, and then we had some interesting, one of the things that we had was that the game had a paradox kind of effect on them. And people that disagree with the fact that I thought it was fun, they improved more than the people that agreed. So they don't see the game as being fun, yet they used it and they got better. and, then, and then the disagreeers also scored, I mean, in the pre-test, before they started using the game, they scored lower than their peer. But overall, they improved. So that's something that, though they don't like game, they think game is not ideal for, I mean, the game is not fun, yet it's helped them to improve. So it has a significant impact on them. And then motivation, game has been something that has been always motivated them when it comes to all the projects that they do. And then in terms of interest in doing computer science, we also found out that their interest increased. Their interest increased after the camp. Their interest increased, and then in terms of their experience also, um, they, their most exciting experience was the project session. So, I mean, they wanted to do more projects. And so we have decided to concentrate more on making them do projects with those applications. Their interest in computer application before and after the camp, as you can also see, um, overall from past experiences, they before they got into the camp, graphics and video editing was like, this is what we want to do. But by the time after the camp, we found out that programming was, like if you look at programming, programming was, their interest in programming suddenly came up. And before they came, they were kind of, no, I can't program. I can't code. Okay, video editing, maybe I will be able to edit video. It's all about movie. In terms of graphics, they think, oh, you don't need to code. But when it comes to programming, they don't know, I can't do it. But by the time after the camp, we found out that more of them enjoyed the programming than other things. And then the most enjoyable session was overall game design. So game design was the most enjoyable session for them. And so we tried to evaluate how, do you really want to study computer games having gone through all this, having gone through this camp? We got positive response from 80% of them, and 20% of them gave negative response about studying computer science. Definitely, they don't want to study computer science. But CS as a career, maybe we got, and then certainly was just about 15% of them said certainly that they might, I think it's 12% that they might consider CS as a career. Some of the comments that they made, I would like to be a computer scientist in the memory of this camp. Because with this program, I find computer studies very interesting. I like to do something with computer in the future, though I don't want to do computer science, but I know that I still like to do something with computer. I like to make use of things learned from this camp in developing several things in my career and make use of it for my personal stuff. I love computer and I would really like to study data in my institution for those ones that are definite about it. So that's something encouraging for us. Um, Most of them, the idea is that my field of, I mean, those of them that were even negative about it, is like my field of study is quite different from this, and I'm acquiring the knowledge to apply it to all areas of my life. It's like they now had a better understanding of what computer science is all about and what um, algorithms programming is all about, and more importantly, that it can help you in any career that or in any vocation or in whatever you want to do or be. Our next step is improving computational thinking in Nigeria classrooms through gamification. We want to penetrate the classrooms now that the teachers believe in us, and we want to make sure that Nigeria also follow the global trend in using games as a means of helping kids to learn in the classroom. And so we are going to have the Geek of 2016 at University of Ibadan this August, hopefully. We are planning towards it. That's the small team that we work together to make it happen. And I think the team is larger now with the Northeastern University family. Yeah, and those are the sponsors that we've had in the past. Right now, we are hoping that we are still going to get sponsors. It's been a little bit difficult because I'm not in the country, but my team back home has been very strong in facilitating things, and we've been coordinating online, but it can still be like when I'm available. But we are hoping that this year we try as much as possible to manage the resources we have and make it happen. Thank you very much for listening. Um,
Well, the workshop continues now with a tasting of Spanish wines and Spanish food. So I hope to see you, all of you there, and we hope we can continue with the discussions there. And I'd like to ask for a last round of applause for the panel speakers who have presented.